Welcome to Thought Experiment Called Life. This is where unconventional thinkers and multi-passionate makers share their journey of creating meaningful lives, built on growth, creativity, and the courage to live on their own terms. I'm Greta, a musician, a martial artist, an herbalist, and a fellow traveler through this mystery we call life. Every other Tuesday, I bring you real conversations with rule breakers and path forgers. Subscribe on Substack for more resources, mindset, tools, and more.
Hello, friends. Okay, so today I am going into the herbal and nutritional side of things, nutrient side of things. I want to, as we get into winter, at least here in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, as we get into winter, people start getting sick, right? More. And I mean, it happens all year round. I'm going to say that you should have these things in your house all year round, but if you don't have them in your house right now, please go get them. I am not benefiting from you purchasing this, but I'm going to put the links in this. So these are the two things I'm going to talk about today. Specifically, this brand of Gaia oil of oregano. This brand. There we go. And then NAC. I happen to love Mary Ruth's a lot. So Mary Ruth's is what I'm using right now for the NAC, but I've used plenty of different brands, but I really like Mary Ruth's a lot. So these two things will help keep you and your family well. And at least if you get sick, you won't stay as sick. You won't get as sick. It won't last as long, or it'll just completely shut it down from the jump. And this is research backed. This is something I know, just even like anecdotally speaking, this, if you're in my family, if you're one of my friends, I've either given you a bottle, sent you a bottle, or brought you some. If you just happen to tell me a few minutes before I'm going to see you, I'll bring it to you. So there are plenty of things that help keep us healthy. You would really want to make sure you take your multivitamins. Your vitamin D levels are good. You want to get your zinc in there. Vitamin C, obviously, like all the things we need to make sure our body is running well and efficiently, and all the nutrients that we need, all the ingredients that our cells need so that we stay healthy and our immune system can work properly. It's really as basic as that for most things, right? And making sure the functioning is happening within the cells and all of that. So that part's not basic. But, I don't care if you're 19 years old, take a multivitamin. It's definitely something that we're not getting what we need from our food necessarily. We can try, and we should try. We should have our vegetables, and we should have our fruits and our antioxidants, and you should absolutely do those things. And then also having a good multivitamin along with that. So this episode isn't about our multivitamins, but just having that in there will help give you already a good foundation and a good base. So when it comes to, if you have sneezed recently, and for me, that's how it happens. I'll sneeze and I'm like, oh, something feels a little strange. I will start taking oil of oregano and NAC in like a little bit of a protocol right from there. I don't take oil of oregano all the time. I kind of take it really only as needed so that it stays effective. But NAC you can take all the time. It's also really good for our bodies, for our glutathione production. I'll kind of break everything down. I'll read you some lists and put it down below. But oil of oregano is nature's antibiotic, for lack of a better term. I became allergic to most antibiotics after doing like a billion Lyme treatments. I would break out into rashes, or just strange things would happen. And I needed something else to try. So when I was in school getting my master's with herbalism and nutrition, I came across this and I was like, I'm going to try it. And then I've just never looked back. It's something that is always in the house. And if it's not in the house, I'm like, oh my God, we got to order it because it's really that effective. I think when I first really realized that, and I didn't have it on a protocol, I started to feel I had a weird sneeze or had a weird cough. And I was like, okay, I'll get some tomorrow. Tomorrow should be fine. Well, tomorrow it would already, you've got a culture that's happening, and it developed over 24 hours. So it helped, but it would have been better had I taken it right when I felt that feeling. And so some of this is to go, and I'm super guilty of this. I'll be like, oh, I feel a little, like maybe I didn't have the sneeze. The sneeze is how I'm like, I had the sneeze, get the oil of oregano, but maybe I didn't have that. Maybe I just feel like a little run down, or, for me, I don't get super sick that often, but I know I will get sick usually if I have had a few nights of like not great sleep, stress is high, and I know that I'm like about to redline myself. And that's like a time where I'm vulnerable, right? We are vulnerable when we are redlining ourselves. So the things that are flying around, right, will be easier. They'll have an easier time attacking our immune system because it's not as strong because we're exhausted. So of course, sleep and hydration, this is not to say those are your first line of defense. If you can just take the longest nap or get, extra sleep, that will do the most. That really is like the best thing you can do. And in addition to that, if you can get your oil of oregano going and your NAC going, then you're just in for less of a severe situation. Generally speaking, of course, this is not medical advice. This is just research-based information that I'm passing along to you. So let's talk about oil of oregano. It's antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. So it's also worked for things like if you have literally like if you're having, like, I'm in jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of staph infections going around. You can take it if you're having like stomach issues of like we both got like some kind of crazy stomach bug in the spring and our stomachs were just like real not good after that. And we took oil of oregano to help get everything kind of back to normal. And you could take it then. So generally, if you're feeling, it's also anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, obviously the immune system support. So in there, if you want to know like the science of it, there's compounds. So I always say this wrong, carvacrol, and thymol. What they've shown in some studies, so this one study showed that the oil of oregano, it has antiviral properties against several DNA and RNA viruses, including the flu, and also shown for RSV as well. So it's got a really good, helpful ability when it comes to respiratory situations, as does NAC. They're both indicated for respiratory. So yay. The studies on COVID, it's always like a little, even when I post these things about nutrients, it tends to be squashed a little bit in the algorithms because there's, actually, I don't really understand why. But, when it comes to the COVID studies, there's like some studies. For NAC, there's more studies than there are for oil of oregano. NAC is pretty widely used. And so NAC, N-acetylcysteine, it's a precursor for glutathione. It's our like master antioxidant. I'm sure, I know right now I was getting blown up with the ads for NAD, which also really cool. And then now I'm just getting blown up with ads for glutathione. So what's cool with NAC, so anytime you take something that's a precursor, it's like giving your body the catalyst for the next thing, right? So I'm a big fan of taking precursors because it allows my body to synthesize glutathione. So if I take the precursor for NAC, my body has a better chance of me making glutathione, as opposed to, there's conflicting research, and I have to look at it again for glutathione, but at least from my last memory of looking at it, it's, you can take it liposomally and, you can take it orally with a capsule, but the capsule, sometimes your body might not make it to where it needs to get in your body in order to be used. Your body digests it and the capsule before it even makes it to where it needs to go. So if you take a precursor for glutathione, then your body's just going to help make more glutathione. So you actually just give it the ingredients to make the thing that it wants to make. The other thing I think about with NAC, it is what they give people in the hospital if they have overdosed on Tylenol. When somebody overdoses on Tylenol, it will create some toxicity in the liver. And NAC actually helps the liver function better. So when you hear things about detox, NAC is a crucial part of our detox pathways. It's actually, I think, in 2 of the steps. So there's 4 steps in your detox pathways, and each step has its own ingredient list of things it needs in order to get to the next step. And you need NAC to make glutathione so that your liver can effectively detox your body. When somebody overdoses on Tylenol, it depletes the glutathione production, and so the toxicity goes through the roof. So in order to get that back online, they increase the NAC. So the same kind of idea, when you get sick, same idea. You get burdened, right? Your detox pathways get burdened, and your body may have trouble eliminating what it needs to eliminate in order for you to feel better, in order for you to restore balance with your immune system. So when you take NAC with oil of oregano and kind of keep that protocol on cue for at least a couple days, it will really help reduce your symptoms, like I said, or you might not even get sick at all, which is ideal. If you catch it early enough, you might just be like, oh, I feel a little something, but not really much. And again, this is not medical advice. It's just obviously anytime you do anything, talk to your practitioner about it that you trust, and get more information. NAC is safe during pregnancy. Talk to your practitioner about the oil of oregano. However, you can do elderberry syrup. So if you are pregnant and you want to just keep your immune system boosted, but you can't mess with oil of oregano right now, you can take NAC. And elderberry syrup is wonderful for children above the age of 2. It's yummy. It's something you can make at home. It's something you can get anywhere now, which is so cool. And I, of course, would recommend my friend Jackie's Be Well syrup, which is incredible. She makes it herself. You can get. I'm super excited to announce a new sponsor for the podcast. The new sponsor is Bowhead, and Bowhead is a lot of apparel, but also prints and stickers, even skateboards. Born off the coast of California, Bowhead brings you art-forward apparel and, like I said, prints and stickers. I love the stickers. It's all inspired by Mother Nature, inspired by surf and skate and tattoo culture. The designs are so cool. They just make me want to move to Santa Cruz immediately. And I love the tagline that Bowhead has, that not everything has to make sense, because I agree. Not everything does make sense. So I think in a world where everyone's wearing the same mass-produced graphics from chain stores, I think it's really cool to get something original, designed by a real human, designed by a small business, a small artist shop. It's one of my favorite ways to support art in our culture, in our world, is to get something from somebody who actually made it and put all that work in, got their web store together, makes the designs, puts it out there. I know from running my old business, Haute Couture, it takes a ton of work, and any way that I can support artists like that, I will continue to do that. So Bowhead, if you want to check it out, you go to bowhead.art and use code THOUGHT15 for 15% off your order. Thought is in all capitals. So I hope you enjoy it, and please help me welcome our new sponsor. That from the Prana House. I love the brand Gaia. The brand Gaia is anything herbalism. I usually, any of the herb stuff, that's what I go for first. I try to see if they have something. There's also wishbone herbs that I've just discovered recently that I love as well. So you have a lot of options when it comes to elderberry syrup. So if that's something, because most kiddos, it's just elderberry syrup's better than oil of oregano in that sense. However, for the adults, and anybody who trains, anybody that I train with in particular, we're around a lot of people all the time. We're sweating on each other. It's open mat. People are coming from different gyms. You have just a smorgasbord of people and things, right? So I would just say, especially with the risks of anything like staph and ringworm, and then just the other fun things that go around that can get people sick, I would just keep this at your home. And NAC, you can take 600 milligrams every day, just regardless. If you're sick, generally speaking, it's take 600 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day, and you would take that until symptoms subside, that amount. And then oil of oregano, I personally, for me, I'll take, if I think I'm getting sick, if I think I'm getting really sick, or if I was around somebody who's really sick, has COVID, something like that, and I find out later and I'm like, oh my God, I will take 2 to 3 times a day. And I don't do that for very many days. And I'm 5 feet tall and 120-ish pounds. So, that I'll do that for usually it's about 3 days or so, but somewhere in there, 3 to 5 days. You don't want to take oil of oregano all the time, just like you don't want to take an antibiotic all the time. But in terms of the oh shit, nature, I need to handle this right now, it will help you so much. It will help you so much. My mom, who just retired from being a doctor, she has it all the time. I'm always do you make sure you have it? They came out for our wedding and I was did you take it before you left? And you take it when you're here, if you're traveling and all of that. So there's a lot of things that go around, and should be, your secret weapon to help you stay healthy. And especially if you are like me and you can't have antibiotics or you're really sensitive to stuff like that, this is a really wonderful option that's not going to be as disruptive to your microbiome and everything. So yeah, this is my PSA for this. I literally, if I was Oprah, when she's you get a bottle and you get it, this would be, I would give this to everybody. I'd be everybody gets this. It is that helpful. And you think about when you're sick, how disruptive it is. Sometimes, you lose a week, 2 weeks, and both these are really indicated for respiratory things in particular. So it's really sucks being sick. really sucks when you're sick and you know that you could have maybe at least lessened its effects. And especially with all the crazy things that are like going out, that we come into contact with, keeping our immune system strong is so important. So going back to the multivitamins and making sure you have your basic nutrients. As a side note, I'll do an episode on it, but if you're looking for your multivitamins, look for your B vitamins where they say methyl. There should be methylated B vitamins. So it'll say methylcobalamin, which is the B12. And for folate, don't do folic acid, do folate. So methylfolate or methyl tetrahydrofolate or whatever. So do that, folate and methylcobalamin. I will get into that more later, but usually I can kind of tell which brands I like the most because of that. I'm trying to think if Gaia has a one of the ones I've been using recently. Mary Ruth's. I love Mary Ruth's. They have great tinctures that taste good, even though sometimes tinctures aren't supposed to taste good. They're supposed to be like, but I love Mary Ruth's tinctures, and also their multivitamins are really, really good. And then there's a brand called Smarty Pants if you want some gummy vitamins, which, obviously there are gummies, there's sugar in there, but they are really great vitamins too. I really like them a lot. And if that makes sure you take your vitamins, then you eat those gummies. Like, it matters if you get it in your body, right? So sometimes we go to take our supplements, and if there's just like too many capsules, it hurts my throat anymore. I take so many supplements every day to stay healthy. And I've converted a bunch to gummies because it makes sure that I actually stay on top of my protocol, and I'm not like, I can't drink another glass of water with 18 billion vitamins. I'm just going to eat these gummies right now. But it makes sure you do it. So don't feel like, oh no, if I'm taking, gummy vitamins. Smarty Pants is great. I really like them a lot. They've got a really good product. So I think you can get those at Costco too. But yeah, when it comes to your herbs, the reason I chose the oil of oregano from Gaia is the actual like potency of it is more than I've seen with anything else. So, if you took one capsule of this, you'd have to take like 5 of most others, 3 to 5, depending on what the brand was. Again, I don't feel like taking that many capsules, and I want to take about 3 of these, 2 to 3, let's say. So I'm not going to take like 8, the bottle's going to run out. So the amount in here is really, really good. Get this one. I'll put it in the notes. If there are other questions you have, I'm going to keep talking about plants. Hopefully the algorithm shows you, and nutrients and things like that. I'm really big on making sure we stay healthy and don't get sick from the icks all over that are floating around and getting on us, because it's just like an unnecessary thing we don't have to go through necessarily all the time. So, and if you do, take a nap, take your supplements, get a lot of sleep, get a lot of water, and just, slow down. Your body might just want you to slow down for a little bit too. So embrace it, embrace the suck, as we say. All right. I hope this finds you well. It really means a lot if you share this, if you leave a comment or subscribe. Any of those things really mean a lot. I really love to be able to pass these things along. And obviously I'm extremely passionate about it. So I want to just keep it up and keep passing it along. You can also connect with me on Substack. And that's kind of like growing and evolving on YouTube, on anywhere podcasts are available. And of course, I'll be interviewing more people soon. I love to hear everyone's stories and to share them with you too. So I hope you are doing great. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Are you listening?